Peace and greetings. Welcome to Fireside Chats, where ancient wisdom meets the modern age. Here, we explore the timeless art of storytelling to uncover life's deeper truths and profound meaning. Through captivating fables, myths, and narratives, I weave together the wisdom of the past with the challenges of today, bridging generations and lighting the way forward. Each episode is a journey into the heart of storytelling designed to spark curiosity, ignite reflection, and reveal the universal lessons that connect us all. So pull up a seat by the fire and let's dive into the stories that entertain, educate, and transform. This is Fireside Chats, where knowledge becomes legend. Thank you for joining me. And today's fable is titled The Fable of the Forgotten Heir. Enjoy. In a distant land nestled between mountains kissed by the sun and rivers that sang to the moon, there was a kingdom once ruled by the ancients, beings of great wisdom, power, and harmony. These ancients knew the secrets of life, how to speak the language of stars, move with the rhythm of the earth, and wield symbols that could shape reality. Their kingdom was a beacon of light, and their descendants thrived under their guidance. But as the ages passed, the ancients vanished, leaving behind only their bloodlines and a prophecy. When the time is right, one of our descendants will awaken. They will think, speak, and move as we did, and through them, our light will return to the world. Generations came and went. The descendants of the ancients grew numerous, spreading across the land. Some retained the physical features of their ancestors, proud brows, deep eyes that seemed to hold the night sky, but they forgot the wisdom. The symbols faded from memory, and the once vibrant kingdom became fractured and distracted. People argued over their heritage, boasting of their bloodline, but few lived in alignment with the ancients' teachings. Among them was a young man named Kael, who had always felt restless. He often gazed at the stars, feeling their silent pull, but the noise of the world around him drowned out their whispers. Kael lived in a village where people were obsessed with proving their descent from the ancients. They adorned themselves with symbols they did not understand, spoke of lineage they did not embody, and mocked Kael for his quiet ways. One day, Kael came across an elder woman sitting alone by the edge of the forest. She was weaving strange patterns in the air with her hands, her eyes closed in deep concentration. Curious, Kael approached her. "What are you doing, elder?" he asked. "I am remembering," she said without opening her eyes. "Remembering what?" "The gestures of the ancients. The way they moved, the way they spoke, the way they lived." She opened her eyes and studied him. "And what do you remember, child?" Kael frowned. "I don't remember anything. I only know the stories, how we are all their descendants. But that is enough, isn't it?" The elder chuckled, a sound like wind rustling through ancient trees. "To claim descent is one thing. To live as they did is another. The ancients will not recognize your blood. They will recognize your spirit, and your spirit is asleep." Kael felt a pang in his chest, as if the elder's words had struck a hidden chord. "How do I awaken it?" he asked, his voice trembling. The elder leaned closer. You must walk the path of the ancients. You must practice what they preached. You must honor what they honored. But beware, this path is not for the boastful or the lazy. It will strip you of your false identity and reveal who you truly are. Kael hesitated, but the yearning in his heart overcame his fear. Where do I begin? He asked. The elder handed him a small amulet, etched with a symbol he did not recognize. This is your first lesson. Meditate with it, not to understand it with your mind, but to feel its energy. When you are ready, return to me. Kael spent weeks in silence, holding the amulet and listening to its quiet hum. At first, his mind rebelled, filling the silence with doubt and impatience. But slowly, a memory began to stir, not from his mind, but from his spirit. He began to see flashes of the ancients in his dreams, their hands forming mudras, their bodies glowing as they practiced sacred alchemy, their voices harmonizing with the rhythms of the universe. Without knowing how, Kael found himself mirroring their movements, their thoughts, and their ways of being. When he returned to the elder, she smiled. You have taken your first step. But remember, this is not about returning to the past. The ancients lived as they did because it was the way of their time. Your task is to embody their principles in this age, to live their wisdom in a way that heals the world you know. Kael nodded, and the elder continued. The prophecy of the ancients was never about one single heir. It was about many, the scattered seeds of their bloodline, each awakening when the world needs them most, and the world needs you now. Kael's journey continued, and as he grew in mastery, others began to notice, not his claims of lineage, but the way he carried himself, the power in his words, the grace in his actions. One by one, they began to ask him for guidance, and Kael would always say, do not seek to look like the ancients. Seek to live as they lived, to embody their wisdom, and to awaken the light within you. The ancients are not behind us. They are within us, waiting to be remembered. The end. The moral of the fable is that the true legacy of the ancients is not found in physical resemblance or claims of descent, but in the practice of their principles and the embodiment of their wisdom. To honor our lineage, we must awaken the dormant potential within us, aligning our thoughts, words, and actions with universal truths. In doing so, we do not merely inherit the past, we become the bridge between the ancient and the modern, carrying their light into a new age. Thank you for joining me here today on Fireside Chats. I would love to know your thoughts on this fable and the moral of this fable. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below and share any other musings that you may have about the channel or about any fables that you may have enjoyed during your life. Again, thank you for joining me. Peace. I'll see you next time here on Fireside Chats.